What is up, Bucs fans? We are live. We're back here on a Monday. It's the Bucs Talk
Woo!
here. I'm your host, Michael Plus, joined as always my co-host, Mark Ramirez. And, me and Mark were at the game yesterday. Unfortunately, another loss. And I feel bad for Mark most of all because we haven't been able to get a win for this guy when he's at the game. I don't know what it is.
Might as well not go.
But I'm also involved in that as well. So they can't win when I'm there either. So, man, it just it sucks because all these losses coming at home is very unfortunate. Buccaneers fall to the Falcons, even more so division game. Now you fall to 3-3. Falcons move into first place, and it was just another one where you let it slip away, and we couldn't finish on offense or defense, and that's the sad part. But Mark, just your thoughts on this game, and what do you think needs to happen going forward?
I mean, it's a lot of like you just said, a lot of missed opportunities, a lot of beating your own damn self, can't get anything going. So many issues that you can't just point at one. I know everyone wants to point at it's just the running game isn't going. Yeah, that is an issue. But then again, when there are open guys, we're either not hitting them, guys stopping on their routes, guys not being able to catch a ball, guys fumbling. It's like they find any which way possible to beat themselves. And then not to mention how many damn flags can you get? Almost half your plays were flags last night
Yeah,
or yesterday. So it's
yeah,
like any which way you can't point at Todd Bowles being an idiot. It's Dave Canales' terrible play call. It's whoa. That's what it was. A whole bunch of shit is what it was. Just things just not going your way. And do I think they can fix it in freaking 4 days and beat the Bills in Buffalo? I don't have any faith in that. But I mean, crazier things have happened. I mean, maybe it's being at home that messes them up. All I know is that Levante David and Antoine Winfield Jr. are playing out of their minds. And I feel like everyone else we had two QB hits, a sack and one QB hit by Kalijah Kancey. Other than that, that was it. So it's like, what's going on that front? And then offensively, it's just, I mean, Tristan Wirfs said it best about the offensive line. It's like, if it's not one of us, it's someone else. It's just not everyone working together. That's literally not just the offensive line. That's the entirety of the offense, and it's upsetting. I mean, yeah, another Baker Mayfield interception results in another loss, but it's not necessarily totally his fault. We scored 13 damn points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we doubled and some what we had the last game, but you can't. It's not sustainable. You can't win only scoring 6 to 13 points a game. And yeah, a lot of people say the defense didn't make mistakes, but you can't be perfect. No one's perfect. It's reality is your offense. It's learning, but the play callers get learning as well, and it's a difficult divide. Like, I think I'm sorry to go off on a tangent, but
No, you're fine.
we talked during the game, like they probably shot their shot for Todd Monken. He got the job of Baltimore, and look what they're doing. Look what they did to Detroit, because he's a proven offensive play caller who knows, okay, this isn't working. I don't stay on it. I move on to something else. He's done it at the NFL level, college level. He just tested, tried, and true. Dave Canales may have amazing play calls, but his sequencing and understanding of when the hell to get away from one thing and move to the next isn't really there yet. And the confidence may be there in the plays, but it's not understanding of when to actually do that. And that's why I kind of made a point of saying right now he's sounding like he went from the smartest man in the room to a salesman, because he's selling us a lot of good plays and it shows on tape. It looks pretty when you look at the car, but it's not driving well right now. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think it's a multiple things like you said. Offensively, I think it's just it starts with timing. Everything timing wise is just not there. We're either early or we're late with either the passing game or the run game. I think it's also a factor of defensively, we're not getting off the field on third down. You're dead last in third down conversion. You're allowing 50% on third down. Yes, we're getting stops inside the red zone, which is great. You're not allowing a lot of points, but you're also on the field way too long. And what does that do? It limits your offensive opportunities throughout the game. So that's a big part of it. A lot of it is we're not getting the consistent pressure up front that we need to as far as a four-man unit. And offensively, yes, you gotta score more points. I think that, some of it falls on Baker. He's been inconsistent. He has to play better. You have to make the plays that are there,
Yeah.
and you have to make sure you make those plays. Like the sideline pass down the field to Godwin early in the game, gotta make that play. Yes, Godwin's gotta throw a better ball. Can Chris run it better and maybe catch it in bounds? Sure. But that's a play that could be a potential touchdown. You have to make those plays, and those things are just not happening for this offense. You're getting penalties that are backing you up, delaying drives, wasting more opportunities. Yes, Dave Canales can be better, sure. He's gotta learn. He's gotta learn the run game flow. He's gotta learn how to call it situationally. Like, you have the ball inside your 10-yard line, 1st and 8. Probably should have ran the ball maybe a little bit there, even if it's not working, you gotta at least try to run the football, try to get it closer. You gotta do something to get the flow of the defense moving one way to create a matchup for an open receiver, some type of play action, some type of rollout where Baker has 1 to 2 reads, make it easier for him instead of just keeping him in the pocket, because that just wasn't working.
Well, with me on that, like you just said about the inside the 8-yard line, this is to win the game, like, or at
Right,
least to put you up 7, right? So the other team has to go all the way down the field, or not to go
r
up 7, to go up 4, one possession
right,
score. So they have to score a touchdown to win the game.
right.
You're gonna tell me you don't have a one play to draw up to literally isolate one guy in the field, even if it is a zone. Let's overload one side. If you
Mhm,
know they just run zones all the time when we're in inside the red zone. You don't have a zone beater you can do like that. You can't just flood one side of the field and say, okay, well, stick in your zone. Let's see what happens. You have 3 or 4 guys on this side. What are you gonna do?
mhm,
And like, how did you not have that 3 opportunities to do that? I wasn't upset that they didn't run the ball in that
mhm,
opportunity. The run wasn't working at all. Like, it hasn't worked. It isn't working, and there's no signs of it getting better.
yeah.
And when you consistently are stubborn, I mean, an a freaking my 600-pound live person is a stubborn fat eater. If you're stubbornly running the ball when you're not supposed to be, that's the same thing, making poor judgments, right? Like, stubborn is also a bad thing. Like, you gotta
Mhm,
be if you're gonna be stubborn, you gotta be doing the right things consistently. Like, there's a crazy is a thin line. Like, someone who always makes the right decision, is it a judgmental call? Yeah. Those aren't smart judgment calls that he's making. Like a 3rd and 1, who the hell you think your running back's gonna get a zone run, a zone read, you're developing a play, he's blowing up in the backfield. There's no that's not smart. I
mhm.
don't care if you're a new play caller or not. Like, for 6 weeks, it hasn't been working. That I was not mad about that. But the fact that you can't beat a zone defense in 8 yards with Mike Evans, Godwin on the field, you couldn't draw something up that way? Like, none of those looked like they were close. And I know Baker
Yeah.
said, "Oh, well, the corner made a good play on one of them." Like, no, it shouldn't have been that close. There should have been something where you sell out for this one play, and there was none of them were close to being completed. That's the worst part about it. At least give me
Mhm.
something where it's a possibility we're gonna get a catch. None of them were close.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's unfortunate, and I look at running the ball there because you're first, I know you're trying to go up 7, or you're trying to go up a touchdown, right? Or a touchdown score,
Yeah,
go up 4. Um, you're trying to take the lead, obviously. But at the same time, you have to understand you got to play some clock management as well to it. So even if a run gets you maybe 2 to 3 yards, you force Atlanta to maybe potentially take a timeout, or you waste the clock even more and get it, down to where they have less time. So it's just little things like that. Even before the half, like the end of the first half. Okay, Atlanta's driving, they're getting inside the red zone. There's opportunities to take timeouts there to potentially get the ball back for your offense, and we don't do it. So there's little things of that, like not wasting your timeouts, empty your timeouts going into, both end of the halves. That's something that I think Todd Bowles and the staff need to do a better job of. Bud Cannabis talks about here, better clock management inside the 2 minutes. Yes, absolutely. It's been an issue. It was an issue last year. It needs to be better moving forward for sure. So there's just a lot of mistakes on both sides of the ball. Um, we can talk about Ryan Neal. Yeah, I mean, you got to make that tackle. You got to go get the guy. either you're getting the football or you're going to get the guy, and you should just really be attacking the man. I mean, you see Kyle Pitts in front of you, most likely he's going to make the catch. You got to go get him. Like there's no hesitation there. There's no pause. You got to go tackle him. And if you tackle him there right when he catches that ball, they're down at the 50. Time, is ticking. They probably have to take a timeout. They have to get at least, a first or two more first downs, get into field goal range. And you still have an opportunity to get into overtime. But again, who knows what happens in OT? Doesn't guarantee us a win. The game was probably lost before that drive anyway, because we needed to score to, take the lead. There should be no opportunity for Atlanta to have that moment. So yeah, just really frustrating loss overall. And just a lot of things that need to be cleaned up. And now I guess the good thing is you do have a game on Thursday, kind of have an opportunity to, erase what happened this last Sunday, and maybe they play a hell of a game and find a way to beat the Bills, which would be crazy. And that'd be great for their confidence moving forward. And, but right now, yeah, it's very unfortunate. They're not getting the plays done, not making it happen.
I mean, I'll say this. We have a terrible record of national televised games.
Yeah. So we're due, right?
Oh yeah, we're damn due. But I'll say this. Buffalo is going to be the first team, as in the words of Baker Mayfield, statistically, that's not good at stopping the run.
That's true.
Is there any shot in hell we can run the ball well? If you think about it, I think I said on one of the film studies, the Falcons were 11th in stopping the run. So they were almost top 10. They were right there.
Yeah.
The Eagles and Lions were 1 and 2. Clearly, we're not running shit against them.
Yeah.
I think Buffalo is either middle of the pack or below, like almost in the 20s. So, I mean, if you can run the ball, attempt to run the ball here, then our play actions will look better. Yeah. But, yeah, if Baker is missing wide open guys underneath, I almost want it to be a Dungy offense. If your defense is doing that well, be as Dungy offense, which means check down Charlie, Tom Brady, whatever the heck you want to call it, all day until they start opening up those deep shots so wide open where you have to hit it. Because if this team's mantra or whatever is going to be is just limit the turnovers, rely on your defense, and just offense do enough, then you're going to have to do that. Because targeting Cade Otton on one drive 3 or 4 times in a row and then getting picked is not the answer. And I know everyone's probably seen the on the interception, there's 2 guys wide open underneath. Yeah. And Baker's pushing it to a corner route to Cade Otton. I remember, yes, we're drawing everything up for 13 and 14. Yeah, not on that one. And it came out way too fast for Otton too. And I'm like, what in the hell? And that's inside the 20 interception. That's the worst possible thing. Somehow we get the ball back and almost have an opportunity to win it, and we settle for a tie. It is frustrating. They find a new way to lose. But what's even more disgusting is that they're in every game, and this one should have been a win, to be honest. I mean, you can't tell me the Falcons are on the par with the Eagles or Lions. We're in both those games just as much, and this game, there was no penalties in those other games. You got bit terribly by penalties, and then Tompkins' fumble doesn't help either. It is frustrating, but it's like anything that can go wrong is going wrong, pretty much. But they're somehow still in the games.
Yeah, I mean, you can go drive by drive, and it was just, again, a lot of waste opportunities. I mean, the first drive, you're moving the ball, you get inside there, you get on their side of the 50, you have a fourth and 6 where you go for it, don't make anything happen. Baker has to throw it away. So Atlanta, takes the ball from there, and they go right down the field and score, right? So, right there, you're already back against the wall, not the fast start that you wanted. And then, the next couple of drives, I think, kind of go by the wayside. And then finally, we make something happen where we hit Mike on the deep shot on a second, I think it was like 2nd and 8 or something like that, where they did a good job of isolating Mike. Mike was winning his matchup the whole game. Like, he was taking advantage of AJ Terrell pretty much throughout. Like, they could have went to Mike probably every play. He probably would have made something happen. Because he had those moments. They were running him on slants. They were isolating him. They were doing a great job of finding ways to get him the football. There was also a pass interference call that was not called late in the game that could have maybe changed some of the outcome. I don't know how much of a factor it would have been, but it it's just it's disappointing because again, way too many opportunities just wasted. Like you can't do that, especially in the NFL. And this game was tied, I think, what was it, 10-10 at halftime? That's not good. That's not good. Like this was a game the Buccaneers should have probably been up 21-7 at worst going into halftime and probably could have coasted their way to victory. And I don't mean to take anything from Atlanta, but they're just I mean, they had 3 turnovers inside the red zone themselves.
Ritter
So I mean, that shows you like again, they're a team that kind of, they poop on themselves as well.
Yep.
Like and we just couldn't take advantage of that at all. And that's unfortunate. Like you won the turnover battle and you still couldn't, find ways to win. So that's yeah, Jay, you did win. Jay Edwards, he was on the Jumbotron. Be sure to check out that tweet. We put a video up of him dancing. So it was a lot of fun. That was probably the highlight. That was the highlight of the game, right?
No, center was the highlight of the game. If you hear me screaming in the background of excitement, I did not scream that loud for anything else during the game.
I told him on Facebook that we were disappointed we didn't get the first video because he was up there originally for like maybe 20 seconds and we should have videoed that one, but we couldn't get it. But yeah, there you go. You can see him dancing with the number 00 up there. So
beautiful.
Yeah, awesome dude. But yeah, just and then defensively again, you only allow 16 points. You force 3 turnovers. Heck of a game by, like you said, Antoine Winfield Jr. and Levante. They played outstanding, but other than that, not much else. I mean, couldn't find ways to get pressure. Ritter was doing a good job of just getting rid of the football fast and just couldn't manufacture anything to get the ball back to the offense quicker.
And the one deep pass they get is to Scotty Miller.
Yeah, of course.
They got to figure it out. Like third down defense, horrendous. You're last in the league. That's terrible. Running defense or running game, pretty much to me, it's dead last in the league. There's so many things where you got to clean up. Defensively, I'm confident in Todd Bowles fixing it quickly. I think you're going to see a really good assignment-based team. I mean, they still only allowed 16 damn points. Yes.
Yeah, I know.
They allowed a team to get in the red zone multiple times. They relied on turnovers to do it. It don't matter. I mean, the defense came up big when it needed to. It pisses me off about third down, yeah, but I'm not that worried about the defense. I'm more purely worried about this offense figuring out what the hell to do. I mean, everyone right now in media is asking for changing in certain positions, like your left guard, your safety, your running back situation. What are we going to do?
I don't think that changes much. I don't think that it doesn't really put an X factor on changing the whole offense with 1 or 2 players that are backups for a reason. That's not really gonna change the outcome. Maybe to provide a spark, but I mean, the facts of the matter is the last your 3 losses, you scored 11, 6, and 13. That's not going to get it done. So you deserve to lose. You deserve to lose those games.
And your victories, how many points did you score?
So your victories, you scored 20, 27, and 26. So again, 20 points per game or better, Buccaneers win. So that should be the motto for this. That's the motto for this team. Score 20 points. Hey, guess what? It's a victory for the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
That's what they have to focus on. And
I 100% agree with this too.
Yeah.
I mean, and no matter how much you hate the way the man speaks, because he's not rah-rah or doesn't make cool anecdotes or crap like BA used to, Todd Bowles' defenses are usually sound. He's upset. Let's put it that way. Like, even when they asked him about the Kyle Pitts getting open, he's like, blown assignment. We're going to fix it. Like, I'd rather him be pissed off and know what the hell he has to do, as opposed to offensively, we keep saying all these special things we're going to do, and it looks like it's getting worse.
Yeah.
And that's and definitely not against a superior defense that there was no mismatches to be had. There was.
Mhm.
And blame it on Baker Mayfield missing guys, blame it on flags or anything. It's still flags are coachable. That needs to be fixed. All right. Some of it's maybe irresponsible laziness on the young guys. Like some of that was on the young guys, just not being lined up correctly. That's another thing. You can't be continuously relying on the puppy pound, all three of them to be out there at the same damn time.
Yeah.
Spread it out where one or two of them are in there, not all three, and you're relying on them to pick up big downs. I can't believe they did that on sometimes. I know it's getting them experience for later in the season, but you can't rely on all three. That's like what the Panthers are doing right now. And that's why they're 0-6.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta give Mike and Chris some rest. I mean, they can't be out there every snap. But I
said one or two. Like get Mike out when he goes on a deep route and leave Chris in. Like you can't just.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that mindset. I would like to see, more Chris and Mike and less Kate Otten for sure. I would like to see Trey Palmer as a third receiver more. I think 11 personnel has to be their base moving forward. Like I understand you want to rely on the 12 personnel to help with protection and stuff like that because you run some max protect to help your O-line, but they tight end group's not getting it done. Running back group, Rashad had a much better game as far as a pass catcher in this one. He did some good things running the ball as well, even though very limited. It's just that's that group, the tight end, the running back group, and the interior offensive line are the weak spots. And it's unfortunate because this ground game is based on the interior. They want an inside run game. That's what mid zone is. So it's a mid zone scheme. They want to push guys from the middle of the pack to run and have cutback lanes to go off of that. And they just don't have any type of movement up front there, or there's disruption. And it's unfortunate. I mean, you look at the stats again, 42 passes from Baker Mayfield. You had 20 runs total. Your longest run was from Baker himself. I think it was a 31 yarder.
It was a long 31 yards too. It took a long time to develop.
I mean, what's that average for Rashad? What does that say? 2.6. I mean, that's not going to cut it. And Keyshawn Vaughn doesn't even need to see the field.
No.
Like I would agree with that change. Like Sean Tucker needs to be in there, and hopefully Chase Edmonds, with him coming back to practice, hopefully, maybe he plays on Thursday, and that would probably be rushing it. He'll probably be back sometime next week, I'm sure, for the Texans game. That would be a big boost. He just gives you a different dimension, more change of pace, more speed, knows how to play in this system. So it'd probably be a better fit. But yeah, just not a lot of production from the run game. But I mean, you look at the receivers, obviously Mike Evans, Godwin, all had pretty good days. Again, not really any drops from them either, which was great. Godwin was targeted 12 times. So you'd like to see him come up with some more catches. Again, some of that's on Baker, some of it's on Chris. Got to get it together. But biggest thing I see from this offense is, again, it's timing. Everything's either late or it's early. It's early in the run game or it's late in the run game. Baker with his progressions are either early, a la Cade Otton, or it's late. He's missing things going across the field. Trey Palmer a couple times looked like he was open. Mike Evans just not seeing the concepts fast enough to make those plays work better. So those are things that have to improve going forward.
I mean, a lot of this, you can pinpoint certain things. A lot of people always want to have the one thing. If you just fix this one damn thing, everything's going to be fixed. And
that's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah, but usually when that happens, it's okay. If it's not this one thing, I know what it is. It's the head coach. Get him in the hell out. That's usually what happens. Like, there's so many damn things you can point at. If there's so many, then yeah, there's one problem. It's the coach doesn't know what the hell he's doing. But the coach himself controls the defense. That half of the field is doing extremely well. Even though they had a red zone they had to get red zone turnovers to end up winning the game or staying in the game.
Right.
It's your offense that just can't go. And now it's 2 years in a row. You tried it with a Brady-led offense with Byron Leftwich. Didn't do much better in this. And
Mhm.
now you have a new quarterback, a new system, a young, very offensive-minded, new offensive-minded head coach or offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Yes, I know there's going to be a learning curve.
It's growing pains right now.
Yes, it is. We can't totally give up. No,
No, I just gotta
I'm
hope it gets better.
frustrated as hell. Yes, but he's got to also learn what this team is. I know what he wants the team to be. Eventually, he keeps saying that. Oh yeah, later in the year, it'll start coming around.
Mm.
But you can't force it. And he's saying it because it almost brings me back to the first damn game of the season. He's so slow to change what the hell he's doing. He had to have the wide receivers coach, the hell's his name?
Brad Isaac. Yeah.
Scream at him. They're doing cover two. Change.
Mhm.
Cover two beater. Like, does he need him to yell at him every damn game? Like, I know he has all these voices coming in from different ways. Oh, this is what they're looking like. This is what's going on. This is what maybe he just needs to have Idzik kind of scream at him every now and then. Listen, run ain't working, especially on third down. Don't do it. If
Mm.
you're gonna run it, make it be inches, and Baker Mayfield just pushes his way forward. But the run and a zone scheme is not working on a third down. You can't have a developing. What I mean by that, you can't have a developing run play. It has to be just push forward and run, get that first
Mm.
down. It can't be I'm going to pull my left guard all the way around and go that. No, because it's giving minimal gain. You're trying to get. You're not trying to get 100 yards on one run, especially on third and one. And so it's just frustrating because it seems like he's slow to change his ways. And
Mhm.
is it part of his stubbornness? Maybe, but we don't necessarily know. It's only been 6 games right now. So
Yeah, I mean, got it. We're got to give it time. I know it takes patience, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't have the patience. We want instant results. You want it now. But the thing is, you got to remember this is a brand new offensive line with a rookie, a center that probably shouldn't be starting, a left guard that, again, veteran, not solid but not great. You have left tackle and Tristan Wirfs, who's been outstanding. Gedeke, again, he's still progressing as he continues to get better and better each week.
just say outstanding. He's doing extremely
Yeah,
well.
he's doing well. Yeah, he's doing great. So, but again, you still have a new system that everyone is trying to put together. The quarterback is trying to figure things out himself as well with this system. So there's a lot of moving pieces. You're not getting the production from the tight end group as well. You're putting a lot on them too in the blocking game. It's not working. Receivers young, especially behind Mike and Chris, and you saw mistakes made by them. Trey Palmer with penalties, Devin Tompkins dropping the football.
Fumble.
Can't have those type of errors. So there's just so many things, and then on top of that, you have a rookie play caller who is trying to figure out the flow of this game, and I think that's the biggest thing for him. Situational play calling is something that he's going to have to grow into, and hopefully it gets better. There was positives. I do like the going forward on 4th and 6 on that first drive. I think that's a positive. I think that's the right call. So there was some good things there. I do like the play concepts. Like this scheme works. Like there's getting guys open. Like that's what he's doing. He's finding ways to get open. Yes, couldn't get it done in the last drive in the red zone. He failed there. Again, that was a process of just not executing what he was calling, but also you have to find ways to get it simpler where you can get these guys at least one guy open. You design a play where you get at least one guy open, especially at the end of the game. So it hasn't been all bad. Like he
No.
has a good scheme.
It's bad. A lot of people want to just marinate in the bad, but
Yeah.
we just got to point out what is the problem and then learn how to move forward and fix it.
Right. Exactly. And there's still plenty of good to take away from it is what I'm trying to say. And just yeah, I mean they're close. And I think Baker said that yesterday. They're close. They're right there. Now it's just finding ways to you gotta get that consistency and find ways to get it in the end zone more and stop wasting opportunities. So hopefully he gets away from it. I thought he did that yesterday where he was starting the game, throwing the football.
Yeah.
He was waiting to run it later. And then at times, again, like you mentioned, he just ran it at the wrong times when you can't. Like you got to stay aggressive with that passing game because guess what? That's what's moving the chains for you. You have to keep doing that to get where you want to go.
I mean, what other word can you use besides frustrating? I mean,
Yeah.
and you keep hearing we're close, we're close, we're close. But the thing is, what's going to be crazy is when they are close, that means you're so close that when you do hit, it's going to be an explosion. And I
Hmm.
honestly think that will happen eventually, where things just start clicking left and right.
Yeah.
Because even like the deep ball to Mike, like we are just talking a week ago, he can't hit a damn deep ball, and he
Yeah.
hits it perfectly on that. Like it was a man beater, and boom. But a lot of this is going to have to be executions matching with the proper play call, and I think a lot of that is where the mishap is. Like it's enough that Baker's trying to learn all these receivers, all this new system, all the whole new offensive line, terrible running game. I
Yeah.
mean, there's no complimentary football just as in the fact of passing and running.
Mm.
It's hard. I mean, yes, I understand the difficulty that Canales is going through, but the simple thing is, if you can't run the ball at all, why even try and run early? Like
Mm.
use what you have to your advantage, which is your wide receivers, your big passing game. You can stretch the field, use that, and then run later. Do not force it. I know the stubbornness is what it is, but
Yeah.
be stubborn in the second half. Like you can't be stubborn in the first half when I know the old mantra is you don't lose a game in the first half of the game. We
Hmm.
are. We're doing that. We're showing it is possible.
Yeah.
We don't have the horses to come back, really. Because
Yeah.
if our defense gives up a mulligan, there's no chance in hell we're coming back. I'm telling you that right now. Especially if guys can pin their ears back and go, it's not going to look pretty. And could that happen in the Bills game? Most certainly, it probably could. But
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not pissed off at Canales. Yeah, it's a difficult job to have right now, but he's got to find a way to utilize his targets as best as he can and stop being so stubborn and running the ball. It's plain and
Yeah.
simple.
I think it's just, and I know he talks about variation and some of that, especially after the bye week, it seems like, these last two games defensively for the opposing team, they figured out some things and are in better position. But at the same time, we're still scheming guys open. So there's enough there where they have opportunities. Now it's just about, like I said, going back to Baker Mayfield, making sure you're hitting those plays that are available to you, taking the check down if it's there, not trying to force the issue, play within the system. I think that is something they have to get back to, playing smart and understanding, taking what your answers are on first, second, and third down. But with the run game, I mean, they just got to find some runs that they are confident in and just keep running those runs. Like, don't try to get cute with the running game because right now it's just that's not working. So if you got to go back to duo because that's what works, then run duo. Or if you have to run, off tackle, then find a way to run off tackle. And, because mid zone is just not, it's not there for you. I do like the shotgun, like inside zone runs. I think that is fine, but you got to spread them out. You got to run against 6-man boxes. That's the only way you can run. You got to get away from the bunch formations and just run with 4 wide receiver sets and run out of that. Because guess what? You'll face lesser man box and maybe you can win that way. You might not get much, but you'll get more than what you've been getting. I mean, that's all you can hope for right now.
I mean, plain and simple, it's just our interior offensive line isn't made to run the ball well. You have a
No,
very undersized center who has no lower half to withstand.
they just can't push people.
Yeah, Cody Mock is very
He's not built
he's,
yet.
he's young. Yeah, he's very young. He was
Yeah.
Kappa in his first few years. He got
Yeah.
pushed around too. I
Mhm.
guarantee he's gonna get better because his
He'll
athleticism.
get stronger.
Yeah, and when he is actually moving forward, he's doing well.
Mhm.
Weiler, yes, he's a big body. He does do some good push, but his functional movement is not there. He's more of like a big body, like, burly guy. It's not like
Yeah,
it's an athletic big guy.
right.
He's just a big body getting in the way. So there's no really big holes to push off of. And this is an inside running team. You're relying on the weakest part of your offense
Yeah.
to be your strength. That's stupid. And that's something
Mhm.
we've always talked about. So
Yeah.
I'm not unimpressed with Canales' system. Like Marlo, like you're saying here, if this is a preview of Canales' system, I'm not impressed. I'm impressed with a lot of some of the passing concepts. It's just you don't have the personnel to force this inside run game that he wants. I
Mhm.
know he's like, oh, it'll come with timing and the running backs reading the holes. Well, if you can't consistently find a guy that can block and have a hole created, how are they supposed to get continuity? And okay, if this is what this run call is, I can count on Mock being able to spring me open. I can count
Mm.
on Filer to push this guy a little bit more and Hainsey to hold that backside block. No, you can't because none of them truly can. I've seen
Mhm.
Hainsey on the ground so many damn times and
Yeah.
Mock lunging and then the guy tosses him down to the side. He's uber aggressive, but he loses assignment sometimes and he ends up on the ground.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's tough. The interior
Yeah.
offensive line isn't there. And yeah, I assume they're going to invest in that heavily in the next draft. But the offensive coordinator has to figure that out and move forward with finding ways to work in our advantage, not in
Yeah.
the defense's advantage.
And and someone, I think it was, I want to say Pewter Report talked about it, where maybe going back to the 2020-2021 run game where you bring in that 6 offensive linemen as your blocking tight end, and you spread them out that way, and try to run, because the tight ends obviously are not getting it done. Bless you. Um,
Thank
uh, the tight ends are not getting the ground game going, so maybe you bring in like a Nick Leverett as your 6th offensive lineman or whoever to help this ground game get some more push, have an unbalanced offensive line, you say, and see where that takes you. Just got to try something different, because right now, obviously, you're getting no success. I mean, they're on pace to be the worst rushing team of all time. Yards per carry is at, I want to say, 2.8, which will be the worst ever in NFL history since, well, I think since PFF started, that would be the worst. That's from 2006, I think, because Trevor Sikkema tweeted that out. And God, I mean, it's got to change. Either that, or like we said, you start with the pass, you spread them out, you go to empty look, and you just use checkdowns as your run game. And that's something that they have shown, and that's what you're going to have to try to do. Like, just get little dump offs to get those 5-yard gains to be your run. And that's something that maybe they go with starting this week.
Yeah, you abandon it when you have to, and then go back to it when it's your advantage. I mean,
Right.
because
When it's 2nd and 2, yeah, run the ball all day. Like, third and, if it's 3rd and inches, go. Yeah. you
what
know,
was his definition of a successful run?
I think it was 4 yards or more. I think that's what he was looking at.
It was a certain down and distance thing.
Yeah.
I forgot
I
what it
mean,
was,
it's
but
a successful run. Like, when you go analytics wise, it's usually getting, you know, 50% or more of the yards per gain. So like on 1st and 10, getting a 5-yard gain would be a successful run, because it's 2nd and 5. Or if it's 2nd and 3 and you pick up 3 yards, that's a successful run. So yeah, I mean, it's just, you got to find ways to put it in your advantage, like you said. So more passing on 1st down, then use the run when it's convenient.
I mean, overall, offensively, I'm not entirely mad at Baker Mayfield. Yes, there's some times he needs to connect, but if the whole unit in itself is so inconsistent, it's hard to gain consistency from your quarterback. I mean,
Yeah, that's
Brady
true.
showed last year. It was tough for him to get anything going.
Yeah.
So if the best in the game can't even do it, don't get me, he was old. He was still connecting on a high level. Like his
Yeah.
accuracy was there, his timing is there. It just nothing was working. His offensive system was
Mm,
crap. And this game, there wasn't many drops. It was flags, fumbles, just bad other ways that you can be bad, right? So
yeah.
it's things need to click. Yes. Is Baker the 100% reason? No. Saw so many people saying, bring in Trask, bring him in. I'm not blaming Baker at all. I mean, this isn't like what we saw with Jameis, where it's like he is 100% the
Mhm.
reason you're losing.
Yeah.
I mean, 6.5 average passes. Shit, that's terrible. But that's bad. But like he's not the main reason you're losing. There was many times he avoided sacks. Like the fourth down
Yeah.
play, he should have been sacked. He kept it alive. There was just no one the hell open.
Yeah.
And it's not like he's terribly late, terribly throwing passes.
Mhm.
To me, that Godwin play, if Godwin keeps running straight instead of turning around to the ball and trying to jump for it, he catches that.
Well, I think when you look at that ball, though, that ball is going towards out of bounds, and that's the thing. Like the ball placement needs to be up the field, leading Chris Godwin, and let him go run and get it. I understand, like you can't expect the quarterback to be perfect because he's not going to be perfect. That's obviously what you're saying is correct. That the offense as a unit needs to play together and better. But at the same time, Baker's has opportunities to make plays that are there. You got to make those plays. Like if the plays are there to be made, that's what we're asking you to do, Baker, is hit those most of the time, if not all the time, because that's what your job is. Like you got guys running open, you got to hit those plays. You can't be sailing balls. You can't be, overthrowing wide open guys. You can't be missing guys on your reads. Like you got to make those plays to keep this offense moving, because that's within the scheme. Scheme is designing these guys to get open. It's your job to find them, and that's what he has to do a better job of. And also protecting the football. I mean, 4 interceptions in the last 4 games, that's not good. Like you can't have that. You can't turn over the ball, especially inside the red zone. We've already had 2 of those, one in the Saints game and one in this game now, losing points. Can't have that. You get points there before that interception of Cade Otton, maybe you win the game or at least go into overtime, So those are things that change the outcome of the game, and that's something where in his past has been an issue for him. That's something that has to improve if he wants to get another contract with this team, or else it's going to be Kyle Trask in there sooner or later, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much sums it up with Baker.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even to rebuttal that at all. The running game, it is what it is. We've touched on that way too damn much. Yeah. I can't get mad at Chris and Mike. The catchable balls they caught. I can't complain about that at all. Like
and one more thing on the offense, and we'll get into the defense and wrap this up. But with Baker, if he has any type of decent ground game, obviously his game improves a whole bunch. Because again, that allows you to do those bootlegs. It allows you to move him outside the pocket. It allows you to call even more play action where it's more open because guys are getting sucked in. Because right now they're not going to respect our ground game. I mean, they're only putting 7 men in the box most of the time, and they're stopping us. Sometimes it's 6, and they're not even giving up anything. So, when you look at it from that standpoint, yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. I mean, pretty sooner or later, they're just not going to respect it at all and just play coverage. So, yeah, I mean, who said bring back Jameis Winston? Yeah, no, Jameis is not coming back. He can't even get in the game for the Saints. So, I mean, he's not going to come back as a Buccaneer. That's all another story.
I totally disagree with this. Baker doesn't have the skill set and doesn't have upside. No, Baker has a tremendous upside. What Plus just said makes the biggest difference. If we can have any ground game, like an average ground game, Baker Mayfield turns into a whole other caliber player. I mean, the stuff he can do on the move is insane. And if you have any bite of a half step the wrong way by a linebacker, Baker's better on the move. He's better. He showed you in the Minnesota game. He's shown you time and time again. If he's moving, he's even better. And that's the thing. Defenses don't want him to move. They want him to stay in the pocket and read a defense. The second he starts moving, he starts making insane plays. He has an extreme upside. So we just need to find an opportunity like possibly the Bills, who are not good against the run. Can we get a running game going? And then you're going to see a Baker Mayfield upside game where he's making plays outside of the pocket, where he's making incredible little moves. And you're like, where's this guy from? Well, complimentary football. It's all we talk about. But we've talked about 45 minutes about this terrible show of offense, but there is negatives to talk about the defense. So
yeah, I mean,
downs. Go ahead, Plus. Take it away.
Yeah, no, it just starts on third down. Third down defense has been an issue, whether it's and it's not like they're in like third and short. They've been getting to third and long. So I think the average is 3rd and 7. And that should be an automatic fourth down coming up. And that's how it was ever since Todd Bowles got here. I mean, mostly his third down defenses have been in the top 10.
Yeah.
Last year, he was 6th on third down, only giving up, I think, 38%, maybe 37% on third down, which is really good. That's where you want to be. You want to be 40% or less. And right now you're giving up half, 50%. Big 5-0. That's not good. That's not good. So basically what that means is you're not getting consistent pressure, whether you're blitzing or not blitzing. Your coverage is out of position. So guys are not in the places they need to be. So you're having liabilities back there. And again, pass rush and coverage have to work together. And right now it's just not hitting on all cylinders. Things are just too easy for the opposing offenses, especially when they get to that down and distance. So that's going to be huge against Buffalo, who is probably one of the best teams on third down. They know how to convert on third down. With Josh Allen, it gets even tougher because he can run for first downs. So you have to contain him and also maintain your coverage. We saw that yesterday where, Devin White just decided not to cover the running back. And, he gets a big gain on a third down where we flush the quarterback out. And, of course, running backs gets behind him, big gain, So there's just a lot of things. I mean, Kyle Pitts, I know, wasn't a third down, I don't think. Even that play. I mean, it's just there's a lot of different things where they're running simple concepts that we're not stopping. So it has to improve. I know Kalijah Cansey, his pass rush was, he had the one pressure with the hit and the fumble. That was great. But you got to see more guys getting in there, consistently, especially Shaq and JTS and these other guys. You got to rush as a unit. And that's something that has been lacking right now.
I almost want to wonder about Devin White because he's been quiet for a couple games now.
He hasn't been playing well.
So I'm wondering, is it still that growing that's bothering him? Because it happens.
I don't think it's an injury. I mean, he's whatever reason, he's just getting stopped. He's getting blocked too easily. He's not shedding blocks. He's not getting downhill. I think they got to start just send him in, just blitz him as much as possible. I think that's where he's at his best. But for whatever reason, sideline to sideline, he's not hitting where he's not getting to his spot, basically. And there's a lot of times where he's not getting to his spot, and that's allowing open gaps. And again, some of that goes on the front. The front's not helping him either. Guys are getting blocked out, and thankfully Levante David is Superman, and he goes and gets 13 tackles. So, it's got to be better.
I have to and I'm his biggest critic. I'm gonna watch the tape a little bit on him.
Yeah.
There's got to be something that he's just not exploding off towards the ball because, normally the first game of the season he was lights out. Second game, pretty damn good. I think just after that injury, he's just gone downhill. I don't know if maybe they should shut him down one game. He's still a big leader for them and everything, but he's just not playing like it. He had 5 tackles, 3 solos. And then you look at Levante, 13 tackles, 8 solo, 1 tackle for loss, 1 pass deflected, just lighting up the stat sheet. It's like, dude, what's going on there? And so is he more of a hindrance right now? I don't know. And then you talk about the Ryan Neal just not going after ball or guy, just kind of being in the middle man between the two.
Yeah.
Some people were wanting to cry about Christian Izien being taken out for Isaiah McCollum. I think it was
just a matchup. Yeah.
And he's better at man than Izien is, especially if you're 5'8", going against 6'1", 6'2", or did I say he was on Kyle Pitts at times?
Yeah, they matched him up against Kyle, and it might have been Zion's fault, right? How Kyle got open on that last play, but who knows? Again, we'll watch the tape and we'll highlight that for sure. We'll definitely highlight, all the third downs and see what is exactly going on in those situations. But yeah, it's got to improve because even though you are only allowing a certain amount of points. They're 6th in scoring, which is great. Scoring defense, that's top 10. That's where you want to be. But at the same time, you got to be more efficient when it comes to yards allowed and also, third down conversions. Because if you get more stops on third down, guess what that does? It gives the ball back to your offense, which, yes, is struggling, but it also gives them more opportunities for reps and opportunity to potentially get better and hopefully put up some more points to help out your team in the end. So that's going to be key. So just, a lot of self-inflicted wounds right now for this team, and hopefully they can figure it out to get a lot better moving forward.
Jeez. Okay, so let's take a peek. So we are what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, bottom 6 when it comes to scoring offense.
Oh well, that'd be the top. Yeah, top of the.
No. This is
score. Offense. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were looking at defense. Yeah, offense is not good. So yeah, you're at 17.2, which is
who we're facing.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, Buffalo's had a couple 40-point games mixed in there, so that's probably why they're so high. Last week they only scored 14 points, I think, against who did they play last?
Patriots.
Oh, well, yeah, they just played the Patriots. They scored 22, but the week before that, I think they only scored 14 against the Giants, who have a pretty good defense. Their scoring defense is pretty good.
Won the game.
Yeah, they won. Yeah, was it 14-9? So, again, if the Patriots can score over 20, then God, the Bucs have to find a way to score over 20 at least. I mean, even if they lose, they got to find a way to score 20 on Thursday. I think that has to be a must, even in a short week. That has to happen. But
I still, with how bad we are, I don't understand how we are not dead last.
I don't know. Again, that goes a credit to Baker for getting those 31 yards on that one run. But yeah, I mean,
but again,
it's got to be better. Yeah,
offensively, I understand the frustration. It's ugly. It's upsetting, and offensively, it is what it is, and you can only hopefully get better, right? Defensively, this third down shit has got to stop. Like, how can you be so good first down, second down, and then just it's 3rd and 13? Let's just give it to them.
Yeah, let's just give it up.
And it's so easy, and it's like, what just happened? And I don't know. Like, that's like a money down where I see Devin White on the line, like sniffing at the quarterback, saying, "I'm going to bulldoze right through your ass," and I don't see that. Like in years past, we would see that, and it ain't happening. And that's something where, to me, it can be fixed quickly. I think Todd Bowles fully understands the issue. It's not like a Dirk Cutter situation where he's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
He understands the defensive issue. Offensively, that's the biggest thing. Because I know defensively we have the horses to run what he wants. Offensively, what Canales wants, we can't really do right now. So he's going to have to change his game plan. That's pushing it to what it is. That's what it is. Like
that's the biggest thing. And I think you just nailed it on the head right there. That is basically what is happening. Like, he can't run the full scheme that he wants to. And now it's up to him to find a way to adjust and change it where it can be effective and more efficient going forward. So, yeah, I mean, the run game is not going to be what you want it. So you have to find ways to manufacture some run game where it can counteract your balance that you're trying to seek and obtain. So, yeah, I mean, that is something that has to take place. But, as a whole offensively, it starts with Canales. It starts with Baker. They got to be better. They got to be more consistent in how they call it, how you play it. It's got to be cleaned up. And then, defensively, Todd's got to find a way to get back to rushing 4 at all times and maximizing who you're rushing out there. You can't have third downs where Greg Gaines is in the game, or just, you got to have your best pass rushers out there. You have to find ways to maximize. Even if you have to rush Levante David as an edge guy, do it. Find ways to be creative and win that way. I know you're trying to maximize coverage, but you got to force that quarterback to just get rid of the ball quickly and go wrap up and tackle. That's what he's done in the past, and so far he hasn't seemed to do that often. At least that's what I've noticed. Like that's what you got to get back to, sending those dog blitzes with Levante and Devin, and force that quarterback to make a decision quicker than he wants. That's got to be the game plan.
I think it is what he's been trying to do for the longest time, is just win with 4. And like it's down 4 linemen, not just having to blitz all the damn time.
Right, agreed.
But that is what he's so good at, is sending such blitzes where you have no clue who's coming. Yeah. And then it ends up being a double cornerback blitz. You're like, where the hell did that come from? And that's what makes him so special of a defensive coordinator, yes. But I think he's trying to get it to a point where he's like, my front 4 has to do something before I have to rely on these blitzes on every damn down. And I don't blame him for it. But on 3rd down, you're going to have to bring your best stuff because it's not working right now. And like you just mentioned, your best players need to be the guys going after the quarterback. I know in years past, we got mad about him dropping back Shaq Barrett, and just dropping back outside linebackers in general. I mean, that's part of the defense. I'm more looking for, make sure, like you just said, Greg Gaines isn't on the field on certain times. I'm looking for Vita Vea, Cansey, even Logan Hall. He's one of your better pass rushers. Yeah, I'd rather that 3 be out there and leaving Golson, Gaines, or dare I say, just those 2. Just don't put out there on 3.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to find a way to get all your athleticism out there and find ways to, get after the quarterback and contain them. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, guys. It's a work in progress. That's what we're going to keep it as. It's unfortunate the last 2 games losses, especially at home. You would like to have at least 1-1, during those 2 at least at the worst. But the Buccaneers are at 3-3. Offense, got to pick it up. Like we said, the biggest thing is, can they make those adjustments, because we can't run the full scheme like they want it to, and you got to find ways to make the things work. Baker's got to pick it up. Offensive line, receivers, all of them got to pick it up as a unit. We'll see if they can do it defensively. Can they make stops on 3rd down? And I'll end it with this. Yes, they need to give Antoine Winfield all the money, because that guy is playing outstanding. Great play by him not to give up on that Ritter touchdown. He forces the fumble. Big turnover in the game. Should have been probably a game-winning turnover, but unfortunately did not happen. But I think that's going to do it for us. Pretty much covered it all. Hope you guys enjoyed this show. Be sure to, I haven't done this yet, be sure to hit that like button. We appreciate everyone that was in here. Appreciate all the support, all the questions, the comments. So please hit that like button. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe. Much appreciated to all you guys. And we're going to try to keep up the content, probably have some more content throughout the week. It's a short week, so we won't have much on this Falcons game. But we'll definitely get into the key areas, talking about, 3rd down defense, red zone scoring on offense, and probably a lot on offense because they need a lot of work right now. But Mark, any last words before we head out?
I mean, like I was saying, if we have any chance in scoring in this next game, exploiting a running game, look where the Buffalo Bills rank. I mean, this is total team defense. Buffalo Bills against the run. Where are they averaging? They're averaging 100, almost 30 yards a game they're allowing on the ground. So if you're going to find a game where you can try and get the running game going, this is going to be it. If this ain't it, we don't face many of these other teams. So, yeah, the Panthers are the Panthers. Just put it that way. Right. But the Bills is a good team, a very good team, but they're not strong against the run. If we can get them unbalanced, moving the ball by running the ball and then play action fakes, potential could be there. So that's the biggest area. I think that's where you're going to see Dave Canales licking those lips, hoping that lip balm's working and get that running game going. Because if it's not, if it doesn't go at all in this game, you're going to see a bloodbath. If they can somehow get that going against a team that gives it up, it's possible. But I'm going to leave you off with that. It isn't just terrible just yet. I know it looks like it's going to be a bloodbath in this game, but I'm just there is potential there, very much potential there.
Yeah, there's hope for that running game. I mean, the next 3 opponents that you face in the Bills, Texans, and Titans all give up over 100 yards per per game on the ground. So that's a positive. Hopefully the ground game can get going. We can see Baker throwing touchdowns with the play action passing game. It'd be really nice to see, get this team in some rhythm, get them confident, get the timing down, and get things flowing like they should be. Because guys, if this offense can score points and put up 20 a game, Buccaneers have a really good chance of winning a lot of games moving forward, because we're confident in this defense that they're not going to give up a lot of points, because guess what? They're not doing it right now. And they face some pretty good offenses. The offenses don't get much better going forward, so they have opportunities to really shut things down. Now it's up to the offense to at least put up 20 to 24 points. That should be the bare minimum for this team on talent wise. Got to find a way to make it happen. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, be sure to hit that like button, and appreciate all the support. Comment below what you guys thought of this live stream. Anything we need to improve. Can I talk better? Yes, absolutely. But hope you guys enjoyed it. And with that said, until the next one, see you guys.